Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Okonkwo, your accounting software consultant. So in my last video, I shared that before you can start using QuickBooks effectively, there are four key elements that must be set up, which is your chart of accounts, your customers, your vendors, and your inventory. So if you haven't watched my first video where I did introduction to QuickBooks, please take a moment to go and watch that video, and also customers and vendors. So today we are diving into the fourth and final piece of that setup, which is your inventory. So inventory setup is very important for businesses that sell products and also render services. So in this video, I'm going to put you through on how to set up inventory items the right way in QuickBooks, and also explain the different types of inventory options available. So inventory is not limited to physical goods alone. It also includes services items that a business render. So in accounting software like Sage 50, QuickBooks or Zoho Books, when setting up inventory, you can create both stock items and also service items. So even though service items are not physically counted or tracked by quantity, they still fall part of inventory setup, because they represent what businesses sell and also earn income from. So like I said, inventory is not limited to only physical goods alone. It also includes service items. So in a normal business setting, inventory includes both tangible and intangible service, which should be recorded properly in order for it to reflect the sales, reporting, and profitability. So I'm going to show you how to set up inventory and also explain the different inventory options that are available in QuickBooks Desktop. So now we'll move to our case study. So in our case study, these are the list of inventory that I want to set up. This is Apple laptop, the item type, the selling price and cost price, and we also have service item. So now move to QuickBooks. So to set up a new inventory, like I said, you click on list menu. So list menu, you select item list. Then you maximize your window. So there are two ways you can actually set up inventory. When you select item list, you can right click. When you right click, you see new. You also see add or edit multiple items. Then you can also click on this drop down arrow. You see new. So now we are going to click on new. So when you click on new, it will bring out the inventory window. It will display when you select new. So now these are the inventory options that are available when you want to set up your inventory. We have service item, we have inventory parts, we have inventory assembly, we have non-inventory parts, order charge, subtotal, group, discount, payment, and sales tax item. So I'm going to explain these different inventory options that are available. So now, I said, you can actually set up a service item. Examples of a service item are consulting, ticketing, service, and also a consultation fee. So all these are part of service item. So now I'm going to set up consulting as a service item. So to set up consulting, I'll click on service. Then the item name, I'll type consulting. Then you also type consulting here as well. Now, the rate is talking about the fee you charge. So if you charge a different fee for consulting, you might decide not to enter anything here. So it is when you are now invoicing the customer, that is when you be able to enter the price for that fee that you offer, for that service you provide to your clients. So now, the account, you select consulting income. As the income account, you select consulting income. Now, someone might ask, why are we setting up consulting as a service item under inventory? Why not just post it directly to the income account? Now, let me answer your question. In QuickBooks, Inventory is not just for physical products. I've said this. It also includes what services that a business would provide. So now, it is also a section where we define everything the business sells, including services. So when I set up consulting as a service item, I'm not saying it is physical inventory. I am telling the system this is something we offer to clients and bill them for regularly. So by setting up consulting as a service item, I can easily what track how often it is sold, and also I can easily select it on sales invoice and also assign it to a specific income account, which is what consulting income, which is what I did now. So now the goal is to standardize the way services are billed, just like we do for physical products. So this is how you set up a service item. Then I'll click on OK to save this item. So now I'll move to the next inventory option that I want to explain, which is inventory parts. Now, inventory parts is for physical products. When you want to set up a stock item, that's when you use what? Inventory parts. So inventory part, this is where you set up a physical products. So in my case study, these are the inventory parts that I want to set up. These are the items. This is Apple laptop 4 GB, Sony CD 700 MB, Acer desktop, HP desktop, Dell laptop, and also service item. So now I'm going to set up these items. The first one is Apple laptop. Paste it here. Then also you paste it here in the description on purchase transaction, so that when you are buying, it will appear in the description box. And also when you are selling, it also appear in the description box. So now I'm going to type in the selling price and cost price of this item. So the selling price is 80,000 and the cost price is 40,000. So I'll type 80,000 while the cost price is 40,000. Now the preferred vendor, if you can look at it, is asking which vendor do I normally buy this item from. That's what it means. The vendor I like buying this item from. So if I click on this drop down arrow to select a vendor, if you click on this drop down arrow, you see the list of inventories, the list of vendors rather. So all these vendors, I've created them already. I've created all these vendors. So if you recall, in my second video where I showed you how to set up my vendors, so if I've not set up any vendors, I won't be able to see it under the preferred vendor. So the income account is talking about sales. You know, sales is an income account, so that when you are selling, QuickBooks will be tracking that item that you are selling. It will reflect in your income statement. So always select what sales for what your stock item. Now, what you are seeing is what reorder point level. I believe most of you have done cost accounting before. You have heard of reorder point level, minimum, and also the maximum. So this reorder point level is the lowest quantity of stock that a business should have before placing a new order to replenish it. So I can actually set up a reorder point level. I can say 10 as my minimum reorder point level, so that once my inventory has reached 10, QuickBooks will be telling me go and make an order, go and buy from your vendor, because your inventory has reached what? A minimum level. So this maximum, why this is the maximum? Now the maximum is the highest quantity of stock you should have after replenishment. So I might decide not to set up to enter anything in this maximum point level box. We leave it like that. So the other one is what? On hand quantity. Now this on hand is talking about what is available. How many quantity do you have for this item that you're setting up? So when you enter the item here, you know it's a new item, so I'm not going to enter any quantity on hand because I'm setting up a new item. Now, as of when is not talking about as of when do you have this quantity? That is, if I've entered 1,000 on hand, 1,000 quantity on hand. It's now asking me which dates. As of when did I have this item? Did I have it last year or last month? So I will now select the dates that I have this item. So that's what it means. So this is how you set up what your inventory parts. This is how you set up inventory parts. Now, in a situation where the company does not have a specific or fixed selling price, you might decide not to enter anything here if you don't have a fixed selling price. That is, you buy at a cost and you also sell at different prices. So you might decide not to enter anything in this sales price if you don't have a fixed price, so that when you are selling, you will just be able to enter it manually. So in this case, based on what is in the case study, I'm going to enter 80,000. So when you click on OK, it will save it and close. But when I click on next, it will save it and start a new one afresh. So I'm going to click on next because I have other inventory parts that I want to set up. So the next item I want to set up is Sunny City, and the selling price is 80,000 and the cost price is 30,000. So I'll type it here. So this is the right way you set up your stock item. Make sure you type it in the description box. So the selling price is 80,000, while the cost price is 30,000. Type 30,000. Then I can say my minimum data point level with 10. Then I click on next. So the next item I want to set up is what? Acer desktop. The selling price is 70,000, while the cost price is 20,000. So I'll type 70,000 and the cost price is what? 20,000. So Acer desktop, you do the same thing here. Look at it, the income account is sales. Ensure you select sales as the income account. So my radar point can put 10, and I click on next to save it. So now QuickBooks is asking me, are you sure this spelling is correct? So if you are correct, you select ignore all or you close it. So I'll click on close because I'm correct. So the next item I want to set up is what? HP desktop. So the selling price is 97,000, while the cost price is 48,000. So I'll type it here. HP desktop. You do the same thing here. The selling price is what? 97,000. 97,000. And the cost price is 48,000. You type 48,000. Then you select next because I have other items to set up. So the last inventory part is Dell laptop. The selling price is 90,000 and the cost price is 60,000. Then I'll paste it here, Dell laptop. Selling price is what? 90,000 and the cost price is what? 60,000. Then I'll click on what? Okay. So I'm done setting up my what? Inventory parts. So if you observe, it has appeared, those items that I set up has been added to my list of inventory. Look at consulting, which is the first service item I set up, Acer desktop, Apple laptop, Dell laptop, Sunny CD. So because I have more items to set up, I'll click on new. Then I'll select, you check the next case study is what? The next item is QuickBooks consultancy training, which is what? A service item. So the rate is what? 100,000 and QuickBooks virtual training is what? 6,000. So since I want to set up this service item, you select what? Service. Then I'll enter the name of this item. You also do the same thing here. Then the rate is what? 100,000 for QuickBooks consultancy. Now the account, you select the income account, not sales. You use sales for physical products. You select what? The income account. So the income account, I've taught you how to set up your chart of account. So because I've set it up already, I'll click on this drop down arrow and select QuickBooks training fee. Then I'll click on next because I want to set up one more service item. Click on close. So the next item I want to set up is QuickBooks virtual training, which is also a what? Service item. You type it, QuickBooks virtual training. So I will still select what? QuickBooks training fee as what? A service item. So the rate is what? 6,000. So like I said, if you don't have a fixed selling price for any item, be it service item or non or physical products, you might decide not to enter the amount But you can actually enter the cost price that you bought that item from your vendor. You can enter it. But if you don't have a fixed selling price, you might not. It's not necessary you enter the selling price of that your item. You can manually enter it when you are selling to your customers. That is, if you don't have a fixed selling price. So I'll click on OK. Okay, let me click on next so I can explain other inventory options. So I'm done setting up what my inventory and also my service item. So now the next inventory options that are available here is which is what I want to explain, non-inventory parts. So now this non-inventory parts, this is for item you buy or sell but don't track quantity in stock. The item that you buy but you don't keep track of their quantity. You don't track the quantity of that item that you buy. Examples of this item: ruler, pencil, which you buy for office uses. You don't track all those things because you buy them for the purpose of office use. So you classify them as a non-inventory parts. So now this other charge is actually used for miscellaneous charges like shipping, late fees, or discounts. You can actually set up a penalty using this other charge, or you charge for shipping. That is when you are delivering the item to your customer, you can charge a shipping fee for it. That is when you use other charge. So the next item is subtotal. So subtotal is not an inventory. Same with other charge. It's not an inventory, but it's part of inventory options that is available in QuickBooks. So all these things are they are not inventory. It's not a product or a service item. So this subtotal is not a product or service item. It is a tool for grouping and organizing items on transactions. So that's what this subtotal is used for. And it is used for applying discounts on a group of items only. And it shows partial total before applying VAT, freight, or other charges. So using this subtotal, you can use it to add the total amount of an item that the customer is buying. And also subtotal is also used for charging discounts for a customer. You can actually use subtotal to apply discount for a group of items using subtotal. So that's what subtotal is basically used for. So the next inventory option that is available here is what we call group. So now a group is not an inventory, but it's a collection of other items. It's a collection of other items that is combined into one package. Items like not your stock item and also non-stock item. So that's what this group is used for. So that when you select it, QuickBooks will pick that item. It will pick that item to pick all those items that you have selected already or you have set up. So in group is used for adding a list of items. It combines a list of items in one package. That's what this group is used for. To combine stock and non-stock item in one package. So that when you are invoicing that item to a customer, if you select it, it will display all the items. You don't need to start selecting Acer Desktop, selecting HP Desktop. It will bring everything once. So that's what this group is used for. So the next inventory options available is discounts. Now, discounts in QuickBooks Desktop is only applied to only one item. Is only applied to only one item. Discount is not a product or service, but we use discount for applying for price reduction directly in a transaction. That's what this discount is used for. So we use inventory option available is payment items. Now these payment items in QuickBooks is not for buying or selling goods. It's only used to show that the customer has paid part of the money already before you issue the final invoice. So payment is actually used when a customer make payment for a goods. That's when you use it. But in this particular window, we don't use it for anything. So now if you want to set up sales tax, that's when you click on sales tax item like your VAT. That's how you set up your VAT. and every other thing. So in my next video, I'm going to explain all these things, this inventory assembly, non-inventory parts, order charge, and I'll show you how to set up all these items. And also inventory assembly, which is one thing I need to explain. Now, inventory assembly is used in a manufacturing industry, that is industry that are into manufacturing of any product. So inventory assembly is used to build product from other inventory parts. So QuickBooks will track the components used and the finished product. So if you are into manufacturing industry, this is for you. This inventory assembly is for you. So if you manufacture desktop, and each unit is made from one CPU, one monitor, one mouse, that's when you use what? Inventory assembly. So this one is used in a manufacturing industry. So I'm going to explain all these things for you when I'm going to upload my next video, which is advanced inventory management. So